I don't even love money. I just love the things money can do for you. I love the comfort it can, give you. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Linda Tina TV. If it's not your first time here, if it is your first time, hello there, I see you. Consider subscribing. My channel is a cocktail of things, so you'll probably definitely find something you like over there and recommend it to a friend. So as you saw from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about my complicated relationship with money. Now, this video idea came up from the previous video that I posted, where I was just basically giving you a life update and telling you about things that have been happening in my life. And I talked about the financial aspect because, I mean, let's face it, much as people don't like talking about money, it is a big part of our lives. It is a major part of our lives, and it affects our relationships and how we navigate life, basically. And my channel is all about navigating life with you. So if this sounds like a video that you may enjoy, then don't move. Stay tuned. So anyway, without making this very long, let me give you a little background. I grew up from a middle-class family. We had everything we needed, not too much, but just everything we needed. There were moments of scarcity because I grew up with a single mom, so it was a single person, single income household. There were moments of scarcity, but not lack, if I can be clear about that. And so growing up, I knew that money gets things done. If I asked my mom to get me extra snacks at school, she would probably tell me, I think we should have less snacks because then we can save some more money that we can divert to something else. Okay, so she also taught me to be very conscious about money. You don't just throw around money. And I think that also subconsciously came from the fact that she did not have too much. And so with what she had, she needed to divide it among all the other different things that needed to be done. And then us, the siblings, the kids. So I grew up knowing money gets things done. Money gets you privileges, because if you want to do something extra, it's going to take money to have that. And so I always told myself that when I grow up, I would like to make money. I would like to have a lot of money so that those privileges that seemed like needed extra money, I could do them, and I could do them myself without burdening my mom, without burdening anyone. Okay, I never wanted anyone to feel that burden of giving me or having to ask. I've always had a problem asking for money from anybody. And so, yeah, just to give you an idea of how my brain was forming in terms of finances as I grew up. I will also add that I come from a culture where money is also power. So I came from a culture back home in Uganda where people who have money, not necessarily the people who have studied the most, not necessarily the people who are more intelligent, but people who have money kind of just have the power. And so I also had that in the back of my mind. Now, moving forward, because I knew I didn't want to burden anyone, but I did want the privileges that come with having your finances in order, I worked from quite a pretty early age. I remember from my my O-levels vacation. So after my first, I studied in the British system. So we had the O-levels and the A-levels. After the first part of the high school, the O-levels, there's a long break. I worked and I was 17. That was my first experience. I remember I worked at a dental clinic like an assistant, and I made very little money now when I think about it. But the fact that I was making my own money and I could do my own things was like amazing to me, and I didn't have to ask my mom. So I continued working. Even after that vacation, I went back to school. Then after high school, I started working. I worked at a casino as front desk at a casino that also had a restaurant. I met my husband there, but story for another day. It was so important for me that I didn't have to depend on anyone to get me the things that I needed. And the things that I needed, the privileges and the lifestyle, needed money. So for me, it was money, work, do what you have to do to not beg or ask anyone, not even my mom. So now as I am growing up and, you know, I am meeting also my partner, even the boyfriends that I dated, usually it's very normal, especially back home, that guys take you out and they pay, or they, you know, offer to do things for you and all that. I had a little bit of that, but in the back of my mind, I always knew that you always have to have your own money, because if this person says that they can't do that, then you can't have what you want. And I liked nice things, not extreme things, but nice things. I don't even love money. I just love the things money can do for you. I love the comfort it can, you know, give you. And because I love this comfort, the lack of money makes me anxious. Now that's where my relationship with money becomes complicated. To me, money is also freedom. It's freedom. And before that, success to me is freedom. For me, when you ask me what it means to be successful, it means being free to do what I want with no restrictions. And I mean that on the financial aspect, but also on the human aspect. Like generally, no one is going to stop me from doing things. You know, if you're free in your life to do things, if I'm free to go and, you know, have a walk in the garden, have a walk in the park with no one stopping me, with no one telling me, no, you can only have the walk for 30 minutes and be back here by 5 p.m., you know, having that restriction for me is not success. You're not successful enough if you have those restrictions, you know. I want to be free. And so money gives you freedom to do some of these things. Money gives you freedom to say, you know what, I feel like a vacation, I'm gonna go. Money gives you the freedom to say, today I feel like eating a steak, I'm gonna eat that. So, of course, now I'm talking, there are different levels to this, but I'm talking like, I'm giving simple examples. And so for me, money being freedom and freedom being related to success, I felt that like you need money to be successful. And not so many people are open to admitting that, because, you know, money doesn't buy happiness. You don't need money to be happy. And you know, that's something I don't totally agree with. You don't need money to be happy. That I agree with. Money doesn't buy happiness. Yes, to an extent, it's not exactly, it's true, but it's not exactly correct, because some of the little joys of life, many of the little joys of life need money. That being said, having money doesn't mean you're happy, or not having money doesn't mean you're not happy. So that's the part where you know, I agree. But anyway, that's a whole other topic. And so what complicates my relationship so much with money is this. I want the freedom. I want to be able to afford things without depending on people, without depending on anyone. But in the same breath, I don't want money to control me, you know. You don't want money to be the reason why you're not sleeping at night. So when we were growing up, we were taught to chase. We grew up in a culture where you are taught to make sure you have as much money as possible. And I think that comes from a scarcity mindset. You're so afraid to not have that you want to have as much as possible stashed away, so that even if you remove some, there's still some left. You know what I mean? And that created a lot of anxiety for me. And anxiety for me, not the lack of money, but even having it created an anxiety for me, because I'm like, okay, now I have it. I need to cling on to it. So should I use it? But if I use too much of it, maybe it's good. It was just very confusing, and I felt like my relationship with finances is just complicated. The lack of it, having a lot of it, because I've had moments when I've had nothing. It's complicated also because I've had moments where I've had to depend, for example, on my husband when I was a stay-at-home mom, fully depend on him. That alone made me anxious. I'm like, oh my God, I'm financially depending on someone. What if something happens? Then it means you don't have. I was just getting anxious. And so I read a lot about money. And I also taught myself that I control money. Money serves me. And so I shouldn't let it control me. I shouldn't let it control how I sleep at night. I shouldn't let it control my relationships with people, you know. I'm going to refuse an offer just because I'm like, what if they take it back? No, if someone offers you money, don't feel shy about it. If someone offers you, something that's related to money, it shouldn't make you feel a certain type of way, if you know what I mean. So like I said, my relationship with finances is still complicated. I try to save, and then I also try to enjoy what I make, but also enjoy what is given to me. If someone is going to offer something, I'm going to take it. And also to understand that I am in control of money. And also, it doesn't really matter that it could go away or it could come in big chunks, you know, because the scarcity mindset still makes you think that at any point it's going away. And that's fine. It could happen. But you can't live by that. You can't live your life thinking, I am going to lack at some point. Because for me, I think it reminds me that no, for me to live the lifestyle that I want, for my children to live the lifestyle that I want, I need this amount of money. Right now, what I do is I don't have the money to live the lifestyle that I want forever, or even to live the lifestyle that I want right now. I live well, but I could live better. There are things that I could, I would want to do, but I can't do. But it doesn't make me anxious anymore, at least not as much as before. I am very conscious about how I relate to my finances, the lack of it. I have had days where my account is like going down, but then I've used that money to do things that fill my cup. I've used that money to help people that are very close to me. I've used that money to enjoy the little things in life. And then you know what? I'm like, if money was taken away, completely taken away, there's no money, what do I still have? And I realized money is like the smallest part of the things that fill my cup. I have my family. I have a good, strong bond with my siblings and my mom. I have a good circle of friends. I have a job that, you're guaranteed an amount of money at the end of the month. And I have a brain. I'm a smart woman. I can do things. I can create. I can go out in the world and, I have more than just what's on my bank account. And with that, I calm down a bit. But yeah, I think we are not taught so much about financial literacy, one. And two, people don't talk about money as much as they should. I think we need to talk about money more openly. We need to talk about money more openly. Here in Italy, actually, people really don't talk about money. And the less you talk about money, the more they think you're such a great person. Like on the moral compass, you're like perfect because you don't talk about money, you don't show money. And for me, I find it weird. Money runs so many things, so many parts of our life. Why can't we openly talk about it? So anyway, I'm not going to make this video very long. I just wanted to put this out there because I had promised to make a separate video about it. But I would really like to hear what you guys think and how is your relationship with money? Do you have a good relationship with money? Are you friends? Does it come and go and come back and go? Or, are you always in a fight with it? Are you always chasing it? Is it chasing you? What's your relationship with money? I'm really curious to hear. Honestly, I feel like I've just been mumbling in this video, but at least let it be, a topic that we put out there, and maybe it could start a conversation. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Let it be a conversation starter. And with that, I will wish you a lovely, lovely, lovely day or night, whatever time you're watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.